chance for world title domination. You know, he will get there, but my plan is not to use my name as a stepping stone.
One big announcement Chris sort of made ahead of this fight was there is no plan B. If he loses against you August 3rd, he's done. He's retiring. He's walking away from the sport for good. When you hear that, does that make this a little bit more of a dangerous test, or do you feel like maybe he's got one foot out the door already?
It's more dangerous. I mean, he puts everything on the line. Like you said, he has a family to support. And if he loses this fight, man, he's done. He has to get a new job. So, so I know he's more motivated.
I don't want to work.
Yeah, so.
I don't want a job.
I can pin the same question back at you.
Yeah.
A little bit of desperation in this fight because of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is desperate moment. You know, desperate times call for desperate moments, and that's why I changed trainers. That's why I had to make sure that I gave myself the best opportunity to beat Kownacki, because Kownacki is one of the best fighters out there in the heavyweight divisions, hands down, and beating him obviously will put me right up there to be talked with the heavyweight division. But one thing first. That's why I'm working hard to beat this man, because I know this man is a tough man. I know this man is a heart and soul type of fighter, so I'm coming for him.
It's going to be a fun fight. How much does Chris Arreola have left? 38 years old, 5-1 with 33 KOs. He's been through some wars. Let's go through them. Deontay Wilder, remember what happened there? Fred Kassi, Travis Kaufman, those were tough fights for him. Curtis Harper was even a tough fight for him. Remember, Curtis Harper was the fighter who had walked out of the ring? Remember, he got rid of... Where's Seth Mitchell? Bring back Seth Mitchell. He was supposed to be what Deontay Wilder wasn't, a hype job, before Deontay Wilder became Deontay Wilder. Those two fights with Bermane Stavern. He even fought Eric Molina. Remember Toumaz Adamek fight? Vitaly Klitschko, you know, he's been around, but how much does Chris Arreola have left? So on August the 3rd, the next PBC on Fox card is going to be Adam Kownacki, very highly ranked Polish. He is the #1 Polish fighter right now. Who's number 2? Would it be Saluski? Well, he is #1. He is Polish boxing right now. 19-0 with 15 KOs, 30 years old, heavyweight, like heavyweight, if you haven't seen him fight before. However, he carries it well, doesn't gas out, and he's got fast hands. Not exactly as good as Andy Ruiz, in my opinion, but overall, he's got fast hands for a guy his size. You know, and a very sharp boxer. Biggest win was against Gerald Washington, Charles Martin, former world champion Charles Martin. Big Polish fight against Spielka a couple years ago. Spielka just got dispatched by Derek Chisora this last weekend, by the way. And I remember when I covered Gerald Washington versus Robert Helenius. Gerald Washington just won a big fight last week against Robert Helenius, which makes Kownacki's win over him even bigger. And it's funny, I was saying Washington should fight Kownacki, and I forgot I covered Adam Kownacki versus Gerald Washington. Well, anyway, this is PBC face-to-face, by the way. They do one for every single fight main event that they have, outside of the one that was missed for Mike Lee missed one. Bastard, nasty ass, licking his gloves, spitting on the canvas. So, they sit down with Brian Campbell and they basically, you know, talk about the upcoming fight or debate. And in this case, so far what I've seen, it hasn't been really too, you know, much drama, you know. However, I do expect for these two to go to war. Let's go look at the undercard real quick. Pretty stacked up. You got Marcus Brown versus Jean Pascal. Marcus Brown's got to get his shit together. By the way, it's now for the WBA interim. God damn you, WBA. They made an interim title because they don't want to order Marcus Brown or Jean Pascal, the winner of Marcus Brown, Jean Pascal, who I think is going to be Marcus Brown, to fight who's champion at 175. I forgot already. Dimitri Bivol. They make me sick, WBA. We're going to talk about the rankings in a minute. You have Andre Berto versus Miguel Cruz. Andre Berto creeping up on an IBF title shot against current champion Earl Spence or Sean Porter, whoever has him. Curtis Stevenson's up on there. Carlos Negron. Heather Hardy's back. Julian Sosa. You know, pretty much prospect build. This is a mixture card. This is a weird mix of fighters right here. This is a weird mix of fighters right here. It's like, all right, let's just put you guys all on this one card. We couldn't fit you anywhere else, so let's just put you. This is weird. I dig it, though. Of course, I'm going to be covering it. Here's where Adam Kownacki ranks in the rankings right now. Currently, number 6 by the WBC. Dylan White just won the interim title. Tyson Fury is going to get his shot. And look, there's Anthony Joshua. Luis Ortiz is fighting Deontay Wilder. So in a way, I guess you can say Adam Kownacki is like really third in line for a title shot. By the way, Adam Kownacki is heavily favored to beat Chris Arreola. Who does he fight if he wins? That's going to be interesting because it seems as though he's been taking steps up, even if depending on how you look at Arreola, Arreola is still a name. So from Charles Martin. So first of all, from Alta Spielka, Tiago Caladize, I forgot to pronounce his name, Charles Martin, Gerald Washington, Chris Arreola. This is a nice gradual step up right there. So now where do you go next? Do you try to, if you try to go after Dylan White, like right now, or do you try to, where does he go? Alexander Povetkin? Now, he's already on the WBC path. So where was I at? He is not ranked by... Oh, he's number 12 by the WBA, but don't count them, though. They're in cahoots with... Don't count them. Number 4 by the IBF. But as you can see, Pulev is now the current mandatory. By the way, the links to the rankings are down below in the description box. I update them the best I can every week when champions change. But so far, you can update until the major sanctioning bodies update theirs. Who else you got down here? He is not ranked by the WBO, which is not surprising. So we're going to take a little bit of jump cut, get back to me watching the rest of this episode, and I'm going to show you some more highlights. Please subscribe.
How do you stop his offense?
Offense. Like you said, offense is the best defense. I got to give offense. That's the beauty about this fight that we're having. We're both fighters that just want to fight.
How does this fight end?
I'm gonna try to end the finish the fight quicker than Deontay Wilder. That's my end goal, having that green belt around my waist. So I'm trying to make a bigger statement than Deontay Wilder did.
There's going to be a lot of people watching this fight on Fox August 3rd. I'm sure Deontay Wilder's going to be one of them. Is this going to be a statement opportunity for you to get his attention?
He got my attention against my last fight against Gerald Washington. Even a couple of internet memes made of him checking his glasses, like, oh, this really just happened. So, definitely he knows of me, and he mentioned my name a couple of times. So I think after this fight, I'll be one of the top guys that will put myself in a position to get that fight with him.
All right, closing statements here. Chris Arreola, you've been here before. You're back. Could it be the last time? Only you know that. What do you have to say to this man?
Can't wait for the 3rd. It's going to be a fun night.
Any final thoughts?
No sleep till Brooklyn, baby.
Let's go, Beastie Boys.
Wow, you want action? You want 2 heavyweights that deliver?
Brooklyn.
August 3rd, Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Tune in when unbeaten Adam Kownacki faces Chris Arreola. We're going to shake on this and see.
Absolutely, man.
See you August.
It's going to be a fun fight, Adam Kownacki. Okay, well, to give you a better perspective of the heavyweight division and what's likely going to happen or what's supposed to be happening so far, Anthony Joshua is going to be taking on Andy Ruiz in a rematch. Andy Ruiz, current WBA, IBF, and WBO heavyweight champion. Many, including myself, feel that Andy Ruiz will repeat. And of course, Anthony Joshua fans in the UK, they want it to be revenge. Anthony Joshua can do it. He has the skill set, but will he? Deontay Wilder will be taking on Luis Ortiz on likely Showtime pay-per-view, not PBC on Fox pay-per-view, in November of this year. And then he's supposed to take on Tyson Fury if he wins against Luis Ortiz in a rematch sometime in February or March, late February or March, before March Madness. And then it's supposed to be Dylan White, who's the WBC interim champion. So Kownacki will only get his shot unless he's picked by whoever the champion is at that time, or, becoming a mandatory. And look what Dylan White had to go through. He's not even a mandatory. You know, many feel that Deontay Wilder could be elevated to WBC franchise champion of all things. But I don't think so. I don't think the WBC will do that. So Adam Kownacki could, if he was, oh, damn, poor Chris Arreola. You know what? We writing off Chris Arreola, man. I was a big Chris Arreola fan. Back in college, I watched that Tomas Adamek fight back years and years and years and years ago. How long ago was that? And the Klitschko fight, too. I think I covered the Klitschko, not covered. I watched the Klitschko fight in college with friends. I remember that. Long ass time ago. And the Adamek fight was one of the first fights I ever covered on YouTube. Period. Crazy. One of the first non-Mayweather or Pacquiao fights at that time. Crazy. You know, more luck to him. More luck to him, man. Especially with the heavyweight division being so stacked and it being an unofficial tournament going on, and it's top heavy. But one thing Kownacki can say is that he is one of the top players in the division. You know, now being the top players, right? Obviously, Deontay Wilder, Adrian Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Dylan White, and then who do you start talking about? You start talking about Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker, Adam Kownacki, Kubrat Pulev, Alexander Povetkin. You know, Oscar Rivas has been eliminated from the tournament, unofficial tournament. Robert Hill, you know, Jared Washington is right there back, working his way back up. Same with Charles Martin. Jared Washington versus Charles Martin makes absolute sense. That's going to be fucking fun if they ever do that. But, of course, I won't be covering these fights on this card. Of course, it's going to be, you know, we got a lot going on. I got a podcast coming. I got a daytime show coming. People have been asking me for a long ass time to do a daytime show. We're going to be having highlights, interviews, call-ins. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live with FightView360.com. Please subscribe.